Good morning, friends. As a part of our healthcare initiative, we intend to conduct health talk every 2 months. Today's talk is first of a series, and this will enlighten us on how to differentiate between heartburn and heart attacks. This talk will be conducted by Dr. Snehal Mishra, who is a senior cardiologist at Hinduja Hospital. It's over to you, Snehal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Dr. Suhas.
Hello everybody, I am Dr. Shambhavi Shere. I would like to ask some common questions to Dr. Snehal Mishra related to heartburn and heart attack. So the very first question which every individual would have is, so what is the basic difference between heartburn and a heart attack?
Alright. So Dr. Shambhavi, let me first define the two entities for you. What is commonly known as a heartburn, or in more layman terms acidity, is actually a misnomer. It is called as a heartburn, but it has nothing to do with the heart. It is basically a feeling of burning in the chest or pain or discomfort in the chest, which is due to reflux of acid, the stomach acid, into the food pipe, what we call as the esophagus. And this entity is actually called as a heartburn. Wherein when we talk of a heart attack, it is basically a syndrome that happens because of complete occlusion of one of the blood vessels supplying the heart. So its precursor is what is commonly called as an angina, which is basically a cry of the heart, or a pain which originates from the heart, and it is because of a blockage in the blood vessels supplying the heart, and it often culminates into a heart attack, which is basically a life-threatening condition which happens due to complete occlusion of the blood vessel which supplies the heart. So this, in more defined terms, is what is a heartburn, and this is what is a heart attack.
Okay, so then what are the common symptoms?
Okay, so typically a heartburn will present more as a burning sensation, which often occurs after a heavy meal, after a very spicy or an oily meal. It is something which is predominantly present on lying down or on bending forwards in patients, and it often will also have symptoms of sour taste in the mouth. This is all a manifestation, as we've described, of acid coming back into the food pipe. So there is a sour taste sometimes in the mouth, a feeling of regurgitation of stomach contents into the mouth. So all these symptoms together typically constitute a heartburn. While if you talk of a typical heart attack, this is more commonly a feeling of heaviness in the chest, a feeling of uneasiness, tightness, constriction in the chest, which often is accompanied with symptoms of breathlessness, sweating, uneasiness, and it is sometimes increased by exertion and relieved by rest, though that's not often. Heart attacks can also be sudden, wherein these complaints of increase on exertion and relieving on rest may not occur. But these are the symptoms which help us differentiate a heart attack versus what a heartburn is. So more of a burning, more of a feeling which occurs only after meals, or which is increased by lying down, decreased on sitting up, is more of heartburn, while a heart attack is something which will be sudden, a feeling of tightness in the chest and accompanied with breathlessness, sweating, uneasiness. This will typically constitute a heart attack.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable inputs and helping us in basically differentiate between the heartburn and heart attack, which is commonly mistaken to be a common heart attack is mistaken to be a heartburn.
So just to summarize, more than 50% of my patients are missed because they are primarily diagnosed as having acidity and not as actually a heart attack. A lot of minor heart attacks go unrecognized because they resolve, and at that time they were mistaken as to be due to acidity. So people who are smokers, who are diabetics, who are elderly male, postmenopausal women, patients with a strong family history of heart disease, they form a very high risk subset for heart disease to happen to them. These are people who should not ignore their heartburn symptoms. Any change in character of the heartburn, or a heartburn which is not responding to antacids or continuing for more than a few days, anything which has the red flag symptoms that we just described, anything that happens more with exertion rather than with meals, or is accompanied with tightness, breathlessness and sweating, these are symptoms, or which happens early in the morning or very late in the night. these are symptoms which, even if one assumes is due to heartburn, it is better to take the opinion of an experienced cardiologist and then settle the issue once and for all of whether it is due to a heartburn or a heart attack. So I just hope through this initiative the message gets conveyed across to the audience at large, and it benefits as many people as possible.
Right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.